Hello, this is a recap of an American series called The Last Man on Earth Part 3. Please don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. Philip and Melissa are at the bar talking about different things. She kisses him out of nowhere, taking him by surprise. They start making out and soon end up in Melissa's bed. She plays a song at full volume so the noise of them enjoying themselves won't be heard outside. Suddenly, Philip wakes up and realizes it was all a dream. Strangely enough, the song he was listening to in the dream is still playing somewhere. He finds out that it is coming from Melissa's house, but ignores it, going back to his dream world. But this time, Todd has joined them in bed. Philip gets screaming at the nightmare. The next morning, he is sitting by the pool that he uses as a toilet. Carol urges him to either clean it or go to a motel like she does every morning. However, Philip can care less about the pungent smell. Plus, he is overly irritated today because he could hardly get any sleep last night. Later, he goes to Todd and notices that he is in a suspiciously good mood. Upon being asked about the blasting music last night, Todd reveals that he and Melissa were together. Philip urges him repeatedly and makes him admit that he made love to Melissa last night. Philip laughs in pain and pretends as so the news doesn't hurt him. Todd continues telling him all the details about the special night while Philip listening in distress. They are approached by Melissa, who asks Todd to come over. Philip tries to join them, but she is quick to dismiss him. Before leaving, Todd comments that they are about to do it again and follows her behind. A distressed Philip goes to his home and falls face first into the children's pool filled with alcohol. He tries to keep the thought of Melissa and Todd out of his head, but it follows him to his bed. He can hardly fall asleep because of their love-making song blasting in Melissa's house. The following morning, Carol asks him to clean the pool over breakfast. Not wanting to argue, he claims that he is working on it, even though he has no intention of doing so. Carol also mentions that Melissa told her she is having the best sex of her life. This triggers Philip's frustration, and he goes on a rant about the song not letting him sleep. As a reply, Carol reminds him that he is the president of America, so he has the authority to stop them from making a noise. Philip thinks the idea is great and arranges a neighborhood meeting later that day. He introduces them to a grievance board where the four of them can make compliments and suggestions every week to make their community a better place. He takes the privilege of being the first one. He suggests that they implement a sex curfew and noises ordinance for Todd and Melissa. An announcement Todd doesn't understand what he is trying to do, but Melissa sees right through his intention. She refuses to oblige to his stupid rule. Instead, they anonymously vote for him to clean his toilet pool. The next morning, Philip reluctantly has to wear a water suit and to get inside to his filthy pool. He picks a few buckets of dirt, but it falls right into the water again. After trying for a while, Philip loses patience and ditches the work. By now, he is so tired of his bad luck that he lies down on the side of the pool and cries. He is interrupted by Melissa, who asks if she can talk to him for a while. She feels bad that she put her relationship with Todd in his face, especially after his confession last time. Philip still remains adamant that he was just practicing confessing to Carol. Still, Melissa apologizes for all the noise and asks him to forget they can ever be together. Before she leaves, Philip asks her for the last time if she would sleep with him if Todd wasn't here. Melissa refuses to answer because Todd is her boyfriend and they can do nothing to change that. Philip thinks about the comment for a long time even after she leaves. His frustration turns into anger and hatred for Todd. Eventually, he makes it a mission to get rid of him, one way or the other. In the following scene, he knocks on the Todd's door and asks him out on a Bruce car ride. Philip claims that he has a special place they can visit, which is enough for Todd to join him. They drive for 3 hours into the desert but do not reach their destination. Todd is enjoying the ride, talking about his sex life with Melissa and how they spend hours making love. At the same time, Philip can't wait to throw the guy out of the car. When they are deep into the desert, Philip pretends that he hears a try pop. As Todd gets out to check, he drives away, abandoning the man. A few seconds later, Philip seconds his decisions and stops the car. He tries backing up but changes his mind again. This continues for a solid minute before Philip finally decided to ditch the plan. Todd gets inside the car and jokes that he always knew Philip was coming back. He doesn't recognize Philip's hatred for him and is positive that they are good friends. Moreover, he thanks Philip for everything he has in life today. A girlfriend like Melissa and 2 friends who care about him. Philip cannot help but feel awful that he tried to abandon a man like Todd. Upon returning home, he is motivated to clean the pool. He gets his gear on and works for hours before finally cleaning everything. Later that day, Carol comes to his house with tissue paper up her nose to avoid the smell. Philip forces her to take them off, showing off his hours worth of work. Carol is so happy that she hugs him and says that she is proud to be his wife. For the first time, Philip feels good hearing these words. In addition, he has even found a portable toilet for her, so she doesn't have to go to motels every day. At night, the neighbors get together by the fire and drink. Carol thanks Todd for helping her carry her dresser. He is also praised for making a charm bracelet for Melissa. Philip cannot take someone else being the center of attention, but has to listen to the girls gush about how nice of a person Todd is. It gets worse when Todd brings out a sculpture he made of 4 of them. Out of jealousy, Philip breaks it and acts like it was a mistake, but only his statue is broken off, so the plan bites him back. The next morning, Philip comes to Carol's house to ask for her DVR. Taking the opportunity, she suggests they start living together so they can use each other things more conveniently. She is mad that even Todd and Melissa basically live together, but she doesn't live with her husband. Philip rationalizes his wish to stay alone by claiming that he loves his space and wouldn't be able to adjust with her. An angered Carol asks him to at least fix her door, or else she will ask Todd for help. As a result, Philip pretends to take measurements of the door, but Carol sees right through his act. After that, Philip goes to his favorite bar and talks to his bald buddy. He complains about Todd and how he is stealing his position in the community. Now, he has to think of a grand gesture to see better than him. As he asking himself to think, the gesture itself appears in front of him. It is none other than a living cow. In the next scene, Phillips has gathered everyone outside his home. He opens the door and blows everyone off their feet. They haven't seen an animal in more than 2 years, which is why they are beyond thankful to him. However, they come to a disagreement when Philip wants to slaughter it for meat while the other wants to keep it for milk and every other dairy product. Todd offers help because he used to work on his uncle's farm and knows how to milk a cow and churn butter. The girls again fawn over him, making Philip mad. To gain sympathy, Philip lies about being lactose intolerant. They feel bad for him for some time, but it is again taken over by the excitement of getting to eat dry again. Moreover, only Todd has grass in his backyard, so the cow will have to be at his home. He milks it, but Phillips has to watch as they enjoy fresh milk. When it gets dark, Phillips comes to Todd's backyard to milk it on his own. He has a zip but has to hide when Todd and Melissa arrive to do the same. He hears them flirting and feels himself burn with jealousy. So after they leave, he unties the conch that was tying the cow to a tree and lets it free. The next morning, the girls are ready to have a cereal dipped in milk after a long time, but Todd comes to them revealing that the cow is gone. Meanwhile, in the bar, Philip introduces Animal to his bald buddies. He plans to find the lost cow and win everyone's heart for the second time. Upon returning home, he pretends to not know anything about the missing cow. Melissa catches into his act and asks him if he stole it. Philip acts offended, but is scared that his lie will come out. The group decided to take a quadrant of the city and to go on a search. Melissa is sure that Philip is the culprit, so she takes the quadrant that she has his favorite bar. After they all make their way to their respective quadrant, Phillips follows Melissa. Strangely enough, she walks inside the bar and comes out with the cow. Philip goes in after she leaves and is glad to see that the cow has already fled. But now, he will actually have to work to find her. As he drives down the city, Todd appears in front of him with the missing cow. Philip is mad that he will get the credit yet again. However, to his surprise, Todd suggests he takes the credit. The guy feels bad that his girlfriend played Philip when it wasn't his fault and is ready to give him credit so he can prove his innocence. Philip pretends that he cannot take the credit for someone else's work, but by the end of the day, he is posting about how he found the cow on someone's lawn. At midnight, he is woken up by a scream. He figures it coming from Carol's house and runs to her alongside Melissa and Todd. It turned out that the cow somehow get into the house and into her room. Since it cannot go back downstairs, Carol will have to live with it. Philip laughs at her, making fun of her misery, and aware that he is the one who will suffer from this situation because the cow cannot be moved. Carol moves in with her husband. Upon being asked how the cow got upstairs, she says she has no clue, but a flashback shows us that she brought it up because she wanted to move with Philip. In the last scene, we see them sleeping beside each other. Carol is over the moon, but the same cannot be said for Philip. Please wait for the part 4. I hope you liked the video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Bye!